Welcome to today's webinar, Improving Financial Visibility Through Dashboards and Reports. Please be aware that the following presentation is intended for information purposes only and does not represent a contractual commitment. Statements in this presentation related to Oracle NetSuite or Verde's future plans, beliefs, or intentions are forward-looking statements and subject to material risks and uncertainties. Hi, I'm Juanita Potgieter, Head of Marketing and Engagement with Verde. I appreciate everyone joining today. I've had the opportunity to be on site with many manufacturing and distribution companies and understanding what is needed on a day-to-day basis. So I'm hoping to provide you with an overview on how we can really improve your day-to-day needs through dashboarding, visibility, and reporting. So we're going to spend most of today's session diving into NetSuite's reporting and dashboard capabilities. But first, let's take a quick look at some of the signs that indicate you need a better reporting tool and dashboards. Number 1, standard reports aren't flexible. Do you have a basic accounting package or a complete ERP system? There are a few standard reports you should have out of the box. Pre-formatted financial statements, accounts receivable and payable reports, budgeting and forecasting, etc. In an ERP system, however, you should also have standard reports for other departments and ideally even industry-specific reporting as well. As useful as pre-configured reports are, one size definitely doesn't fit it all. Every organization is different, so a report format that works for some companies doesn't necessarily work for all of them. You definitely need to be able to easily modify reports and build reports to suit your needs. If you have difficulty doing that, you probably don't have the best analytics solution for your business. Number 2, creating custom reports is difficult no matter how many predefined reports come standard with your accounting or ERP system. Although NetSuite provides around 250 standard reports, there are always going to be a need for custom reporting capability. Creating ad hoc reports shouldn't require specialized training or previous report writer experience. In fact, anyone in the organization should be able to do it as long as they have the correct permissions. Developing customer reports also shouldn't require additional tools or consulting. You shouldn't have to pay more to get better reporting capabilities or rely on consultants to design ad hoc reports for you. And you shouldn't have to export data to Microsoft Excel in order to work with it. You should be able to export it fairly easily, but it shouldn't be a requirement in order to get the reports what you need. A third sign that you need better analytics is if operational data isn't available for reporting. Mining financial and operational data can definitely lead to powerful insights that can help you reduce costs and improve overall performance. But it's hard to combine that data if your business is operating multiple systems. In theory, an accounting application that integrates with other systems should make combining data easier. But unfortunately, it does not always work that way. Even if your accounting and operational systems are provided by the same vendor, the financial reporting tools may not have access to all of the data that's in those other modules. NetSuite's cloud-based ERP solution fortunately helps eliminate this problem by providing a single source of data across your entire organization. And that's really what you need if you're going to combine financial, operational, and other details for really powerful analysis. Number 4, limited KPIs that don't fit your business. Key performance indicators are definitely an important management tool, but they only work if they match your industry, your business model, and your overall business objectives. Software providers often overlook this, assuming that a handful of standard KPIs are really all that anyone needs. If your analytic tools don't support your industry-specific KPIs or allow you to track custom KPIs, then they're really not doing any good, and you definitely need to consider a better reporting and analytics solution. Number 5, rigid dashboards that are hard to customize. Dashboards are also a really important tool, not just for managers, but for everyone in an organization. In addition to displaying those all important KPIs, they put the information that people most need right in front of them. So it saves time, doesn't waste time searching for frequently used reports or features. Of course, dashboards should be pre-configured for different roles, so users only see the information that's relevant to their job. And each person should also be able to customize their dashboard to meet their specific needs. Dashboards that are difficult to tailor to specific roles or are hard to personalize are often more of a burden, and they are unlikely to provide the insights and the efficiencies your business is looking for. So, if your dashboards are rigid, that's really another sign that you need a better analytics solution. Now, before I move to the demonstration, I just want to say that if you have any questions during the demo, please take advantage of the Q&A feature to ask them, and I will respond to you at the end if we have a few minutes left over. But if for some reason I do not get to your question, I will definitely follow up individually via email after the session, and we will also be sending a link to this recording to everyone that's joined on today. A few takeaways that I want to dive into today with respect to NetSuite and the dashboards is really around the true cloud experience. Having the ability to get into your data at any time. With a truly adaptable dashboard approach, you're able to use familiar tools, get all your data in real time, and make sure that your user experience all drives to decrease TCO and increase your return on investment. Right, so let me switch my screen now over to NetSuite. We're going to dive right into the dashboard and begin a little of an overview and introduce everyone to a few of the standard concepts and approaches that each role or user would experience. Now, NetSuite is a fully role-based system. So each user that logs in on a day-to-day basis will be able to approach their day in a hyper-focused manner that's really going to streamline and create more efficiencies with each employee in your organization. You will notice my role-based dashboard has everything I need as a financial controller. NetSuite emphasizes enhancing the productivity of users through simple, user-friendly dashboards containing valuable real-time information that is geared towards a particular role. Now, each transaction is automatically posted to the right area and reports are immediately available as data is transacted. As a financial controller, your efforts are now focused on analysis instead of data gathering. Now, the dashboard contains a host of current information at your fingertips, including charts, graphs, and analytics. This enables you to stay on top of the business and ahead of the competition. I'm also able to see my reminders in real time. These alerts about daily business tasks are being provided directly to my dashboard. So as a controller, I can stay on top of activities such as invoices that are overdue, checks that need to be printed, bills that need to be paid, and beyond. Now everything that you see here is fully drag and drop, so I can move my widgets or portlets to suit my preferences so that I can see everything that needs a specific action, approval, or reminders that I need on a day-to-day basis. Now, as I highlight over anything, you can see my cursor changing, and that's to show me that I can drill into this data for further analysis. And as I come into my reminders portlet here, let's go and look at our bills to pay. Now, I can easily open this on an additional tab, again, the power of cloud ERP, or I can just click straight through to the underlying data. So this will take me to my bills to pay screen. So here on our bills to pay screen, again, we have that flexibility. So whether the payment method is by check, electronic fund transfer, or cash, NetSuite has it covered. And because of all the time savings of automation NetSuite provides, I can take advantage of vendor discounts that I negotiated for, saving big by reducing our spending and as a result creating a cash solvent supply chain. Now, the first thing we might want to handle are handling different payments to different vendors, slicing and dicing. I can apply filters, and I can pay my bills in bulk, or I can just click or manually select some of them. Now, once the bills have been paid, the general ledger will be updated instantaneously and we'll be able to see the report update in real time. Now, just back to our dashboard, that is just off our reminders, and you'll see that within each role that you log into. We also use NetSuite here, so it's always going to be the first line of what are my actions and my tasks that I need to complete for every day. It really can take that form of sticky notes and make sure that you're utilizing the proactive real-time data to your advantage. So making sure that all of your reminders are hyper-focused. You can have the system tell you instead of having you actively go in and finding something. Everything is going to be user friendly, and as I mentioned that earlier on the slide, as you can see, if you look at the three dots here, you'll be able to add any type of reminders at your permission level. So each role has different permissions to see what they might want to add. And again, everything is in real time, so you can go ahead and see that information and drill in immediately. You'll see this with most of the standard business practices. For example, with order to cash, once you take an order, it's going to tell your warehouse team to fulfill. It's going to tell your financial team to go ahead and get an invoice and payment. We want to make sure it's very fluid and that each user can come in, and again, by the end of the day or end of the week, you'll start to see all your to-do actions reduced in real time. So it's always that great feeling of getting all your work done and up to date. And each one of these can be like a traffic light approach. So it's very easy. Green, yellow, red, if it's over 0 or 3 to 5 days, it's going to be more dynamic. And really what that makes me do is anything that's red, I can make sure is done immediately. Green, I might have a little bit more time. And really that helps you and each employee prioritize what they need to do and when they need to do it. That's one of the best attributes to being able to balance your day. And again, we want to make sure NetSuite proactively gives you that ability. Those are just reminders. And again, once the person does something, another user employee might have to do the next, allowing you to focus on the supply chain and gaining those efficiencies. Now, the financial Sportlet on my dashboard is giving me visibility into key areas of the business that are most important to me. For example, I can analyze changes in profit margin today compared to this period or quarter or even further by week or month. We can see any type of trends analysis, and we are able to break that down significantly to understand, are we hitting the mark? Are we improving? Are we increasing efficiency? And all of these, again, aren't just static numbers. We can go in and jump into any of these reports in real time, review that information, and get into that detail at any time as well. And even if we wanted to, we can actually graph anything out. So just clicking on this little icon here, we can make sure that you have the tools handy. As we know, you might walk into an executive meeting and want to put it in a graph to show everyone so they can see the trends going up and down accordingly based on the story that you might be trying to tell. Which drives us to another area like the key performance indicators. In this case, key performance indicators are where I can quickly gauge the health of my company, right? This is a huge area that you'll see is pretty consistent across all dashboards and roles. And again, it's about that real-time visibility and being able to get down to the detail information. This is as easy as going and setting up and adding and changing those current or previous time periods. We want to understand, where's my inventory, where's my revenue, are we moving up and or down? Is it going to give us more profit and revenue? When we start to look into these again, we again have that drill ability. So going from that top level and drilling right into the detail or summary information that you might want to see. Now here, this is your standard P&L income statement with NetSuite. There's going to be over 250 reports out of the box to make sure that you're running on day one and not focusing on creating P&Ls or inventory reports, but really diving into your numbers in real time from day one. You'll notice this is my income statement, and I'm at a summary level right now, looking at most of my accounts at summary level. But we can dive into our detail and see all of the underlying transactions in real time as well. And not only that, if we want to go one step further, we can go to that transaction record of our income statement. And based on your permissions, you'll be able to even go down to the GL impact. So being able to get that visibility of how did we go from my dashboard, from a summary number of revenue to the detailed statement and all the way down to the invoice, being able to see the GL impact. So you as the controller can take action and answer any questions immediately without struggling to find the data. Now we've only been on our dashboard, so again, the great piece here is that you'll always be able to go from your personalized dashboard and dive into your top priorities for the day. A lot of the users in NetSuite, including myself, don't go off our dashboards. As we again look at our income statement here, you may be asking also if these can be customized or personalized. And of course, you can see here that all of these reports are going to be dynamic in the sense that you are running them all with real-time information. All of your transactions are hitting in real time, and you can go and personalize and slice and dice these to each one of your users' needs. And this is a very powerful report writing tool, and it allows you to even break this down by segmentation, break it down by item, customer, department, quarter, month, year, period. Even as you go into international use for a multi-company, multi-language, multi-subsidiary, multi-currency, you can start to even break these down by subsidiaries so you can start to really understand the consolidation view or the detailed view of any company. A few things that we want to jump into as well here is that you can go one step further and say this is your first day. We went to the dashboard and it showed my revenue, but maybe you want this to be a different report for Carol versus the rest of the organization. This gives you another layer of being able to customize the reports. We have the report writers built in. So again, there's no need for additional training outside of our implementation team, or trying to learn code or paying a consultant to build additional reports for you. It's a no code scenario. So we can go here and I'll say Carol's income statement, and this is going to be her personalized view. You can go in, and in this example, maybe we want to look at our income statement, but instead of grouping it by account, we're going to make it an income statement by item. So your item income statement, right? And it's as easy as going in here and changing your groupings against your specific accounts and then running your report again. Again, there's no need for coding. You'll hear that a lot. It's copy-paste template based. Let the system remind you on these things, right? You could go as far as adding different columns as well. Say we wanted to now look at our item income statement, but we also want to have it look at our comparison dates. So in this sense, you'll be able to go in and look at different information, add those to the criteria from a drag and drop perspective. And you could even go and say, all right, this is the same column, but I'm going to give it an alternative date range, and I'm going to make it this year over last year, right? So this fiscal year, we will go ahead and say it's by accounting period. You could go as far as making this and only personalizing it and sending it out to different users or roles, departments, and employees. And that's a little bit of how you can really personalize and run your own financial reports, and each user will be able to do that based on the day-to-day user needs and their specific roles and responsibilities and permissions in the system. Now, lastly, on reports from my dashboards, you'll be able to see that I can schedule these reports. I can run it multiple times if there are users that don't want to log into NetSuite, executive staff. You could send them the financial package recurring on a monthly event, so they can have all of that and not have to call you. You can also go and export everything out to Excel, which again is a pretty standard feature within software packages. But what you'll be able to see here is that you'll be able to go right in and see that all of our financial activity comes out and all of the formulas will also be there. So you don't have to question how we got to that specific information. You'll be able to see the summation right there using your normal day-to-day tools. Now, that's a little bit about the dashboard key performance indicators, reports, and reminders. And the last thing I like to talk about is, again, it's very user friendly, just drag and drop. It's a true cloud and very adaptable system with familiar tools like copy and paste, template based, run it once. It's a real time system. So you can go from that detail to summary level all the way down to the transaction level. You have real time, reliable information that is readily available on your dashboard, packed with KPIs, charts, and graphs. These have access to a comprehensive set of pre-built financial reports that allows you to dynamically slice and dice information with drill through capability to the transaction level detail. And again, this is all about you steering and executing throughout the day, making sure that you get the things done that might need to be done managerially, and then putting it on your execution staff and really focus in on the rest of the day. At the end of the day, NetSuite allows for efficient and effective decision making, leading to your business success. In general, you will spend less time compiling and more time analyzing the data, which really allows you to become more proactive instead of reactive, right? Now, I think we are about on time, but from my side, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a really quick overview, but we have about 5 minutes here to answer some questions. So let me see what has come through here on the chat. Again, if you would like to set up some time to discuss what NetSuite can do for you, or you would like to see more, please set up a time with us or email us at sales@verde.co.nz. Now, the first question here, can you tell us a little bit more about how to customize dashboards and all the different things you can do either as an administrator or as an individual user to get the dashboard to show what you want to see? Sure, absolutely. So organizations can take this in a two-pronged approach, right? You can give each employee their own permissions to design and create their own dashboard, which is drag and drop. You'll be able to create your own colors to stoplight approach, anything that is really of need to you. And secondary, you can have management create dashboards that you publish out to different departments within the organization. So within NetSuite, we might have specific dashboards that our management send to all of the sales teams. So they're really focused in on the same metrics on a day-to-day basis, and they're unable to edit or change those views. So it's very personalized and up to you as an organization to decide how you want to do that. I did see a lot of questions about how you set up KPIs. There's one here, how can you customize the KPI to show the range you want to show or the data you want to show, and how do you create a new KPI? Yeah, okay, so for KPIs, they're all managed at the indicator level, meaning if you were looking at revenue, you have the ability to utilize any time period to compare. So there are drop downs. You can do this year or last year, this month or last month. And again, that's at the individual user level. So one user may look at KPIs different from another, or from a manager and an employee standpoint, right? The KPIs are very versatile, so you can create any query in NetSuite, then that can be turned into a KPI. There are some rules, and if you want to, you could have a look in our help section or in Suite Answers. It will give you the specific criteria that you need. It's a very seamless approach to go in and on an ad hoc basis amend different types of KPIs. Lastly, on that too, is that I don't know if we went into too much detail on this, but you may have seen we also have what's called KPI scorecards, which would do things like trends across 4 or 5 different time periods. Okay, so another question here about dashboards. If I am an administrator and I create a standardized dashboard based on one of our roles, and I want to create a centralized dashboard and push that out to, say, the accounting team, will that override changes that maybe an individual user has already made to their personalized view? Right, so it's not going to override any of the underlying reports or searches or reminders that one may have personalized for their own dashboard. When you push it out, you might have to add those different things back to it. So no, you don't really lose anything, but there would be a sense where if you published a dashboard, usually you taking that and replacing it with what someone else has. A lot of the publishing of dashboards really happens in the beginning when you create a new role and or add a new employee to it. So then from there you can really just fine tune it and personalize it based on the user level. I hope that answered it. Let me just see here. Right. We've got a couple of questions about training resources and help articles on Suite Answers. So I will send those out to the people that asked them individually. Just let me see here. Another question. So what about a situation where I'm a CRM user and I want to see financial data or have access to financial details on my dashboard? Is that possible? Yeah, well, anything is possible. Everything is permission based. So it really depends on the corporate level. If they're going to give you that visibility, as long as you have permission to view it or edit or create, when it comes to those financial material, you'll be able to put them on your dashboard. Most of everything can be added to the dashboard in one view or another. And you can take that to another standpoint of analytics where you might start doing pivot tables and adding those to the dashboard as well. I have a lot of very, very specific questions about creating specific reports. I'm looking at one here, like a cost variance report done for purchasing purposes. So maybe the best way to address those will also be to respond to you individually. I think we are just about might be over time. So from my side, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Again, if you would like to see anything in more detail, or if you would like to start a conversation to find out what NetSuite can do for your business, please get in touch with us at sales@verdegroup.co.nz, or feel free to book a call on our website or just give us a ring. We'll be happy to have a chat with you directly. So once again, thank you very much for joining, and I hope to pick up discussions with you all soon. Cheers.